You see, private investigators have access to all kinds of data on those super secret PI databases out there, but most of it can get quite expensive, especially if you don't know how to use them properly. But I have also found that there is a gold mine of information out there that is completely free. It's yours to use at any time for no charge at all. Now keep in mind, you usually get what you pay for when it comes to data on the internet, but this one free site I'm going to talk about still is very great for many situations, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to use it in your investigations. This one database that we're going to take a look at in detail is called True People Search, or what I often refer to as TPS. You can find it by going to truepeoplesearch.com on your web browser. This database has several primary ways you can conduct a search. The first way is to search by name, which is the most common method to start with. You enter the name, and you can also enter a city and a state or a zip code to narrow things down. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. Now, if you're looking for someone named Tom Smith, you can enter that name in the search box. Then you might add a location like Lincoln, Nebraska to find the right person. This search will show you everybody in the database named Tom Smith that has a connection to that area. Once you find the right person, you can click on the button that says View Details. But how many Tom Smiths are there in Lincoln, Nebraska, and how do you figure out which one might be your subject? I just did a quick search and came up with 53 Tom Smiths in Lincoln. Now, when I look at them, the very first thing I see right below the name is the age. Now, in my particular search, it also says there are too many records. Please filter by age. There is a little two-way slider there too that I can use to pull up a lower range and pull down an upper range. Now let's say my subject is in his 30s. I know that. I'll put in the lower range at 30 and the upper at 40, then I click apply. Now I have a manageable list of 5 records to look at, much better than the 53 I had before, and that wasn't even the complete list. Now I see I have a Tom Smith, age 33, one is 34, one is 36, one 38, and the oldest is 39. But I also see what towns they live in. Only 2 of these subjects currently live in Nebraska. So if my subject most likely still lives in Nebraska, well, that helps me narrow it down to one of those 2 subjects. Now really quick, keep in mind Mr. Tom Smith is our subject for this lesson here, for this video. He is not a subject of any investigation that I'm aware of. Now, right below their age and the town they currently live in is the used to live in city and state. This is usually the last known city and state prior to where they currently live. So looking at the 2 Tom Smiths, I believe may be my subject. I see one lives in North Platte and used to live in Lincoln, Curtis, and Wallace, Nebraska. The other lives in Beatrice, Nebraska, but it shows the previous addresses as APO AE, Clovis, New Mexico, and Bayonne, New Jersey. Now let's say I know my subject was recently in the military. Well, that APO AE is a huge clue. It's a huge clue because APO AE is usually an address for somebody in the military. Now I can click on the View Details button and voila! Now I have access to all kinds of great information on my subject. First off, you will see his name, age, birth date information, town he lives in, and his phone number. Now that area below that, it says full background report, but next to that it says sponsored link. Well, don't click in that section. They will try to sell you a report with a lot of the same information that you will find if you just stick with me as we go through this. Now, if you're finding value in this video, please click the like and the subscribe button. That really helps the channel out a lot. There is the little hamburger menu in the top right. If you click on it, you can now jump to specific sections. You can also just scroll down through all of the sections too. But here you get a good idea of all of the data that we can get on our subject for free, I might add, on True People Search. We can get AKAs, or also known as names, for our subject. Now, this particular Tom Smith is also known as Thomas Joseph Smith. Now we have what is most likely his full legal name, including his middle name. We will also see current addresses, previous addresses, phone numbers, possible relatives, and a background profile. Let's take a close look at each one of those sections in more detail. When we look at the current address, well, we get a Google map of the address. And we can click on that and it takes us to a full Google satellite image of the residence, the streets, and even a picture of the house. And of course, you can zoom in and zoom out and even drop yourself right into the street view. Do this by dragging the little yellow man in the bottom right onto the map. Now you can get a good close look at the entire neighborhood and even do a virtual drive-through, if you will, just by using your arrow keys. The telephone section gives us all kinds of great detail too. It shows us a primary number and it indicates it is a landline phone. Last reported March 2026. So we know that this is fairly good data since it was recently confirmed. It also shows a cell phone or a wireless phone number, and it even shows the carrier, and it was last reported in August 2015. Now don't dismiss this phone number because it's dated. It very well may be current, just not on any public databases that TPS uses. You will also notice the big blue button that says View Full Background Report. Don't click on it. They will just try to sell you a report with a lot of the same details that you're going to get here. The next sections are the current and previous address sections. In the current section, it gives you a lot of detail about the house. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, and the square footage of the residence. It also gives us the estimated value and the last time it was sold and how much it sold for. Now, a key piece of information there is the occupancy type. This house shows as non-owner occupied. This tells us that most likely Tom Smith is renting the house. He doesn't own it. You will also see the school district. So if the subject has kids in school, well, they may be going to that district. In the previous addresses, it shows 6 prior known addresses. Now that first prior address is an APO AE address, which indicates that he was in the military. He also had that address from May 2015 until June 2019. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us he was in the military for that period of time. Below that is the criminal records report. You see that big blue button? Yeah, don't click on it. They will try to sell you a criminal background on the subject. Now, I should throw this in as well right here. TPS does not provide criminal history, so if you need that info and you don't have access to one of the super secret PI databases out there, well, you might consider buying one from TPS. Let me also say I have no idea what they cost or how accurate they are. I have never used them and they are not a sponsor of this channel. I do know, though, a lot of new PIs, when they're first getting started, before they are able to get access to those super secret PI databases, they may use something like this to get that kind of information. But I also know there are ways to find criminal information on most people for free too, but that is not the scope of this particular video. The next sections are the relatives and possible associates sections. In the relatives, there is one relative, a female, age 35. So what can we derive from this? Yep, this is probably his wife, as she is a similar age. In the possible associates section, there are several, 9 people, who are known associates. But what does that mean, possible associate? Well, this could mean that they're friends, neighbors, extended family, past roommates, co-workers, or any other type of an associate of the subject. Now, I often will see relatives in the associates section too, so you have to keep this in mind. But now for the most important section of all, the background profile report at the bottom. I usually jump to this right away and copy this information into a document so I have it easily accessible. When I paste it, I do a straight paste too, like Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste, so I keep the links clickable in my report. That is another thing to keep in mind too. Almost every piece of information TPS provides you, you can click on to get more information about that particular piece of data. For instance, if I click on the address, it gives me a list of who all currently lives there and past residents of that residence. I have often found family members, like a spouse or adult children, who live at the same address, but they were not listed on the subject's original TPS report. The same goes for phone numbers too. It gives a list of known associates of that phone number. And you can click on people as well. For instance, when I click on the assumed wife's name, well, it goes to a page with the same person but a different last name and a different address in a completely different town. Now for her, I also see an email address, but for the subject, there was not an email section, most likely because TPS doesn't have an email on file for him. Unlike a lot of paid PI databases, TPS does not tell you what it didn't find, it just tells you what it did find. What I mean by that, in most PI paid databases, they list, usually up at top, an index of all of the information that could be in the report. But if there isn't any findings, then it says none found. So it might say phone numbers, 5 found, and then it might say emails, none found. Where with TPS, it just gives you the data it has on the subject, be it a person, a phone number, an address, or whatever. You see at the top of TPS, there are multiple search types displayed: name, phone, address, email, and neighbors. So if you have a phone number, you can search for the owners of that phone number. If you have an address, well, you can search for that too. And yes, you can search by email as well. In fact, I always search all plausible data points. So for our subject, I would click on each phone number, address, relative, and associate and see what information I can glean off of that. I will also oftentimes search that information as well, not just click on it. I have seen times where the subject did not show anyone else at the residence. And when I clicked on the address, it didn't show anyone else there either. But when I did a separate search for the address, I came up with other information. Now, this isn't necessarily a flaw in TPS. It is an inherent issue with all databases, paid or free. It is directly tied to how the data is input and what correlating tables are in the database and how the query is set to provide that data. Now, here is a huge thing with TPS, especially if you need to do neighborhood canvasses or interviews. If you go to the neighbors search and plug in the subject's address, you get a full report with all of the neighbors' information. You can click on those little blue icons next to a house and get the address and information about who lives there. You can click on their names and get more information. You can click on the view details below and get their phone numbers and other information too. This report has saved me so much time in the past when I needed to do a neighborhood canvas. Let's say I have an accident investigation and I need to interview everyone within eyeshot of where the accident happened. I can just put in a close address and use this map to determine who I need to interview. I can easily then enter this into a spreadsheet in the order of how I want to do the canvas, and I have their names, their ages, everything. So when I knock on the door, I already know who I am talking to, most likely. Now, if you found value in this video, please go down and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out a lot. And click the join button to see the benefits you get when you support the PI Guide channel as a channel member.